Hi everyone, and welcome back as I continue my short review of the final season of Blake 7, Season 4, Traitor. Well, the Federation is expanding, but how can it when it's rebuilding its military after the devastating war? How can it be expanding at an alarming rate? On the planet Helatrix, one of Hunda's resistance members is being interrogated by the Federation, and he just tells them everything they need to know because he has been adapted to a drug. And they just release him, and they hope that he will make contact with Hunda, the last leader of the rebel force, and basically just take him out with a missile strike. He stands still, he's under observation, and that's exactly what happens. The Federation open fire, and it's good night to him. Back on Scorpio, the ship, Aurak alerts the crew to an alarming situation. Helatrix is back in the Empire. Avon cannot believe it, as they made the Federation pay a high price to conquer their planet, and now just to hand it back to them again. Something unusual is going on, and Avon wants to know the answers. Meanwhile, back on Helatrix, Hunda has a meeting with his ragtag force. He tells them he is going into the city through a risky route. He knows that the Federation are going to come out after them. He tells them, get ready. Meanwhile, with the Federation, an incoming president candidate is looking around his office, being introduced to the staff, and basically he's a right civil servant, you could say, a thorough-going civil servant. And he has a liaison officer with him, the name of Lights. Lights is working for a mysterious person called Commissioner Slayer. So, Hunda sets forth to infiltrate the city through a very risky route. While he's doing that, Avon and co have arrived at Helatrix, and they are going to test out the teleporter they have now got working. So Tarrant and Dana are the first to set foot down on Helatrix via the teleport, and they arrive in one piece. Very fortunate for them. So, meanwhile, back with the incoming president, we now get a backstory of what could have happened to Servalan. It seems Servalan was leading some sort of rearguard action. It seems there was an internal Federation war, battle, whatever you could call it, whatever you like. And basically her and her followers were overthrown. Meanwhile, back with Hunda's group, they are fighting it out with adapted Helex troops who have been subjected to the Federation drug, and Hunda's little ragtag army just wipes out the adaptive Federation force. Meanwhile, back on Scorpio, Aurak has contacted the Federation Matrix with an engineering problem. And with Dana and Tarrant out of communications, Avon has to act, and he does. He basically takes the ship down to cloud level, hoping to avoid detection by the Federation vessels that have been launched to investigate. Meanwhile, back down on the surface, Dana and Tarrant witness the delivery of the new Federation drug, and it's delivered by medical laser. One of the unadaptives is caught out and promptly has a dose of Phylline 50. Fortunately for Dana and Tarrant, they meet Hunter just in time before they too could have walked into this censor sweep trap. Hunter explains to them his reasons why he's there, and he's there for a meeting with the Federation officer, Lights. Meanwhile, the presidential candidate has a visitor, and this visitor promptly eliminates him and destroys certain evidence in his quarters. Back outside, Hunter is meeting his contact, Federation officer Lights, about a way to attack the complex. Lights gives him an alternative plan, but that plan is nothing more than a lie. Lights also talks to Tarrant and Dana about the new drug, Filing 50, and he gives them directions to the laboratory where this drug is made. So, while this is all going on, the general of the base has been alerted to the situation of the death of the incoming president, and he meets Lights. Lights tells him he's a double agent of some sort, working solely for Commissioner Slear in mopping up the last of the resistance. The general's not exactly happy by him. Dana and Tarrant have gained access to the laboratory, and they meet the inventor, Phorbus, who invented Filing 50. Phorbus gives them the antidote. It's not a cure, but it prevents them being subjected to Filing 50. Because Phorbus hates Slear's guts and Lights. With that piece of knowledge, Tarrant and Dana quickly make their way back to Hunter's group and alerts Hunter to the fact he's going to walk into a trap, and they change their plans for an all-out attack on the concourse entrance to the city. And that's exactly what happens. With Phorbus's help, they avoid the medical lasers, and Tarrant and Dana cannot believe their eyes. As Tarrant and Dana now return to Scorpio, they inform Avon they come face to face with someone, and Avon cannot believe the news. Commissioner Slear is Servalan, and Commissioner Slear is going to great lengths to bury her past. She kills Phorbus, and then she kills Lights to keep her identity secret. Meanwhile, back on Scorpio, Avon is glad Servalan's alive, because Avon wants to kill Servalan. And on that note, my final thoughts on this episode. Yeah, Traitor's a great episode. It's one of my favourites. It's just a shame we didn't get more like this. So we now know the Federation is expanding through the usage of Filing 50, making everybody docile, which makes things a lot easier for the Federation to expand their empire, you could say. Yeah, it's a good one, this. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I was a bit surprised that Servalan was back. But nevertheless, Servalan is back. She's no longer president. She's now this mysterious character, Commissioner Slear. We presume Commissioner Slear has something to do with, like, the police, the secret police, that sort of thing. So she hasn't got as much power as she had before. And from what we understand, there was an internal Federation dispute, battle, war, call it what you like, and her followers were rounded up and promptly eliminated by the new order of the Federation. So yeah, it's a good one, Traitor. I thoroughly enjoyed this episode. It's definitely one of the better episodes of season 4. So there we go, folks. That's 2 episodes down and only 2 to go out of my selection. I must admit, at the end, Avon, the way he was pacing around Scorpio, I can't believe it. This woman just will not die. That was great. That was a great scene. That really was great. And on that note, I will see you in due course. Have a great day. Goodbye.